Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to another video from the, drop my pen, from the Creator Metaphysical Store. So today I am doing a Four Corners ritual, a simple yet powerful ritual for protection, for banishing, but you can also use the four corners with the four elements to open a portal to the divine and to commune with the higher realms. I will be incorporating the four archangels for this ritual, for this specific uh, intention, but I also will start with a few verses from this book. It's called The Life Teachings and Masters of the Far East. So I will be reading until I'm being guided by the Great White Brotherhood to stop. And I will be doing this for a few of my lives to just plant the seeds of knowledge. So here we go, Chapter 1, The Great White Brotherhood and World Peace. Before going further in the study of certain underlying laws and facts regarding the teachings of the Masters, it is well to consider the scope their vision covers. One must enlarge his mind and outlook upon life to that in which the Masters work in order to fully understand the full purport of their teachings. At this time, we will deal chiefly with the field to be taken into consideration and the general trends of mankind in order that we may fully adapt ourselves to the work that is before us. It is necessary to know the nature and the scope of a field of work before selecting the tools and laying down a plan for attending the field. We must know what the field is adapted, what crops are to be raised, and to what end the cultivation is to be directed. There must be a purpose back of all work, and it is far beyond the reaches of what we commonly call our own individual nature. Each man's nature, in one way and another, is vitally associated with the life and the well-being of every other individual in the world. And what affects one must in some degree affect the rest of humanity. I rather feel that this discussion of peace should be very general because everyone is interested. The fact is that the world is becoming peace-minded and that people are saying that we have had enough war. People are beginning to understand that war is not a natural condition and to understand that all those who assume the role of providence by setting themselves up as the embodiment of perfect justice, the creators of happiness, are only deceivers. Peace and happiness, the heart's desire of all humanity, is not a gift to be bestowed upon mankind. It has to be earned by honest effort. There is not such a thing as political miracles. Man has to realize that he alone has the power to work out his destiny with his own intelligence. This sweeping tide of human interest in that which will promote and guarantee peace is the inevitable working out of the universal law, which always moves to promote the common good. God is no respecter of persons, and this awakening of men along peace lines is their response to the movement of the spirit of peace, which is fostered by the masters. Only as the individual identifies himself with the universal law can he be expected to find his individual good, for it is inseparably united with the common good. For this reason, true progress is slow and suffering is great. There is a great brotherhood throughout the world who have been working for peace for thousands of years. They are backed they are back of every movement for world peace and are becoming stronger and stronger all the time. There are now about 216 groups throughout the world. That is according to when this book was written. There is always one central unit as a first or centralizing body and 12 units which surround that unit, with giving it more force and power. They are working also for the enlightenment of the whole world. These groups are really composed of human beings who are actuated by the high thought of the Great White Brotherhood. All of these groups work together. There is a very strong thought coming to the whole world for peace and enlightenment as well. There are many misconceptions regarding the White Brotherhood. It must first be understood that they never make themselves known as such, nor are they exclusively back of any outer organization or organizations. They are universal in their function and purpose. They definitely work with the universal law to universal ends, and any individual or group working towards the same ends without selfish or group motives may receive their full support. This support may be known on the part of the man, but it is more likely to come in the form of an unknown stimulus. That is, the help is not likely to assume the form of that coming from any definite place or person. Those receiving this support are conscious only of the help or influence. The League of Nations originally was an instrument of the White Brotherhood, but it was misused in many ways by certain nations and individuals. I will, however, come back under the guidance of the Brotherhood sometime in the future. The birth of a new order is in process. We are witnessing right now the destruction of an old civilization. The White Brotherhood will assert itself positively on the most important issues when the time is propitious. This time has the time has come when where there can be no halfway ground in this purification of the race. Whether or not individuals or group array themselves against the common good in this day, the mills of God grind swiftly at times and also finally. Only from the sifting shall the selfish and the aggressively grasping rear a new life's structure. It were far better to unify oneself with purely creative motives that contribute to universal good, for thereby shall good come to the individual. Often the influences working in universal ideas come into being without much notice. It is something that seems to germinate and move forward as a contagion, while the mind of many are still so engrossed in other things that they do not notice the change. Then, all of a sudden, each individual seems to realize that it has come into being and that it is in an exact accord with his own secret thoughts. Thus, he very often slips into the new order rather unknowingly. The point is to be alert to these secretly developing forces within oneself and in the race. And here one will find the key to his most rapid progress and most vital service in the universal cause. And I'm being told to stop right there. And then I'm going to read what I'm being instructed at the end of this ritual. Okay. So, what I want you to do is to make sure that you have all of your intentions set. I'm going to give you a minute, about 5 minutes or so. Let's see. It's 9:57, so I'll give you about 5 minutes. And yeah, I'm going to actually put on a timer for 5 minutes. And you just get your pen and paper ready. And starting now, go get your pen and paper and write, make sure you have your intentions in order. In accordance to the universal good of all, and align with the universal spirit. Okay. According to the and my intentions be processed and manifest to the silent yet powerful repression, the evidence of universal law. The universal. And as soon as the timer goes off, I will start to call in the 4 elements, of course. Water, fire. I'm going to do sunlight for earth. And then the We got 1 minute and counting down, so be sure to have your intentions ready. And when the time comes, we are going to burn our intentions, so make sure to have I have a cauldron for mine, but if you have like a fire safe bowl or like a nice tin, you're more than welcome to use that. So. Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. And the silent, invisible force, I erect a spear of light. I remove this from this world and cut it off from outside influence, only making known that this is a place of peace, love, happiness, and joy. Nothing but positivity may enter here. I call out to the goddess Hecate, the maiden, the mother crone, O great divine feminine goddess whom you are. Sacred mother, I call to thee, sever this space from all pathways and doors. Allow this to be brought into a space that is protected, clean and pure and divine. In the north I summon thee with the pillar of earth, Archangel Uriel in the north. With the pillar of fire I summon thee, Archangel Michael in the south. With the pillar of water I summon thee, the Archangel Gabriel in the west. With the pillar of air I summon thee, Archangel Raphael in the east. With holy fire and holy water, with the message of spirit and healing carried upon the wind, solidified to the power of earth, the great wife of Yahweh, Asherah, the sacred mother of earth, I invoke the four archangels to empower the space with your holy energy, with the power and might of Yahweh and Asherah, the god and goddess, overseen by the goddess Hecate, the titan that ruleth the heavens, the earth, and the sea. I call out to thee and only ask that the goddess Hecate open a door for herself, the goddess Asherah and Yahweh, and for the angels, open a door for the angels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, to safely enter the space. oh, ooh, eh, oh, I, oh, ooh, eh, oh, I, oh, ooh, eh, oh, I, oh. Ooh, Archangel Michael, guide and protect us. Deliver us from darkness. Help us not to be selfish. Protect us from demonic forces and evil spirits, both night and day. May Archangel Gabriel carry messages from the universal spirit to us in order to help us and guide us along our path. May Archangel Uriel, with the light of transformation and also known as the fire of God, and may with the emerald fire you transform us into peacemakers, creators, being in perfect alignment with the universal spirit and the silent force that moves through all. And may Archangel Raphael spread the energy of healing amongst the wind, within the fire, burn up disease and discomfort, all that no longer serves us, the humans, the plants, the trees, the animals, all that is God's creation. Burn up what does not serve God's creation. And may you bring healing to our water. May Gabriel bring the holy water and purify our water. May it be holy and healthy once again, pure and clean. May the angel Seraphael, with the permission of God, quit your celestial abode and touch your hand upon the earth. Touch your hand upon the water. Touch your hand upon us, all that is God's creation, and bring purity and cleanliness to us. May Mother Mary shine her love upon us, and may the Christ consciousness emanate through all God's creation. Amen. Now, I am going to quickly anoint this with some frank and myrrh. Where are you, frank and myrrh? Here we go. Some frankincense and myrrh, yes, baby, yes. And then adding some cinnamon. There should be some cinnamon here. There should be. Once I can get some rose petals. The cinnamon's over there, so let me grab it really quick for you guys, and then we'll. Bit of cinnamon, and that should do it. Creating a holy oil, holy oil. if in accordance to the universal good of all and aligned with the universal spirit, may my intentions be processed and manifested through the silent yet powerful force of progression and the silent yet powerful force of the universe. Through the efforts of the universal reality, so mote it be. I O L I O L I O L I O I O L I O I O May our ancestors guide us. May they show us the way. Let us learn from the mistakes of our past and let go of what needs to be let go of. Let our ancestors show us their wisdom, but not their lessons. They have learned their lessons so that we may not learn what they have learned. Instead, pass on the wisdom and knowledge of those lessons. But let us not take on those lessons. Let us not take on that heartache, all that trauma. Instead, let it go. I cut away the generational cords. I cut away the negativity, the darkness, the demonic entities, whatever is not of the kingdom of God and of world peace. I cut it, I burn it away with love, but I also transmute it into love and send it to God so that it may be transmuted, transformed, and reconfigured so that it may be allowed when God says it's right to be in the kingdom of heaven on earth, to be in world peace. May the priest Melchizedek guide this darkness so that it may come to the light and become a part of the bigger picture of the universe. Okay. And I am going to burn really quickly this piece of hickory. I can get it to burn. Even if it burns a little, it should be good. I O L I O L. The spirit of hickory strengthen our intentions. The spirit of hickory strengthen our intentions. Okay. Now, last but not least, we will read a section from the Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Okay, so we are here on section 11. Okay, it says India has maintained peace by using methods identical to those used by these 216 groups about which I have spoken. It was brought about originally by 12 groups, which have expanded and are still expanding. The influence of these bodies has been very great, entering into the whole fabric of Indian thought. Their work from the outer point of view has been largely educational. They release information orally, which is acted upon under their direction. Results prove the efficiency of this method. Gandhi studied the situation of nonviolence for 20 years before he began his work, becoming a very deep student of it. The principle has been in existence in India for 600 years. Because of the untouchables, it was made operative through Gandhi in this generation. Gandhi went among the untouchables, teaching nonviolence, making it an effective force. The younger generation took it up immediately. They recognized the great effect of it, and it spread throughout all India. The younger generation now have brought it before the people stronger than ever. This will eventually result in the dissolution of the caste system. The untouchables became quite an issue there as they numbered some 65 million, and guidance was necessary because they had such powerful influence. Gandhi has been almost entirely responsible for their present emancipation. Those in the groups mentioned that are working for world peace are persons of very high spiritual understanding. One man of each group is always prominent as one of spiritual attainment. There are 60 in the United States who, according to this, when this book was written, who definitely belong to this association. They are very quiet concerning their connection with it. They do not give out the place of the group meetings or any information concerning their activities. This is why many people are more or less incredulous concerning the great work being done by the illumined. They are so accustomed to outer show and display that they cannot imagine any great work being done in such a quiet and simple manner. But if one will stop to think for just a moment, he will realize that all the motivating forces of the universe are silent, and those who work consciously with these forces move accordingly to motives. There will come a time, however, when they will work more openly, but that will be when there are enough illumined people to know and understand just what they are doing. Study your own experiences. Are you not aware of that silent influences working underneath the surface of your own being? Are those forces which control your life more than the outwardly manifest things which you express in words? However, just as these silent broodings of your own inner nature eventually find their outer expression when you are in an environment which harmonizes with them, you do not hesitate to express them. Study yourself, and you will find everything working in you just as it is in the race. What the Father sees in secret, he will reward you openly. It is not an idle statement, but it reveals the manner in which all things come into being in the outer world. To understand this fact will not only be better to understand yourself, but also the manner of this universal spiritual work that is going on underneath the surface. It just do that. I got a weird little bug. I do not like bugs. No offense. I love you, but do not come near me because, like I told you before, told whoever was in the bathroom that as long as you don't come near me, I will not squash you. But you came near me, so I will squash you because I just can't do that yet. Um, it is only through. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it is only through adapting oneself to this sort of conscious procedure that he will be able to clearly trace the workings of this secret brotherhood. Their activities are hidden only to those who do not discern the mode of accomplishment. We are accustomed to noise and display, and the quiet yet most powerful forces in ourselves and the world about us go unnoticed. We follow the noisy people into bypass and lose the path of life that moves in stillness through our own individual being. This brotherhood is not properly an organization as anyone can belong who will constructively, either openly or silently, for peace. It is rather an association of kindred spirits. They cooperate, in fact, with an association or organization that is for the benefit of mankind or the advancement of humanity. This group in India works silently, but it is its influence that brings these bodies together and coordinates their activities. It was the activity of this very group that brought the Nobel Peace Prize before the world. Tolstoy was a great factor in making this principle practically effective, but it has been presented through the nine rulers of India. Tolstoy was an advanced soul. He was working with the great central group all the time. While no one knows its exact location, that 13th group has always been a very dominant factor in world education. That group of 12 are working in every educational center in the world. These groups are not an organization here or anywhere that makes propaganda for world peace. It was seen that spoken word or the silent word when sent out to the world was a far greater influence than the written word. The written word can be garbled. The spoken word is an ever expanding and ever increasing influence. Here again is the wisdom of the wise, which has always been in evidence. So long as constructive forces in secret, they grow unnoticed by those who would destroy their effect. The world does not realize the advance of the constructive force until it has already undermined the sordid structure of the selfish and self-seeking, and then it is too late. At the time of such helpless disintegration, and only then are the activities of the Brotherhood likely to come out into the open to strengthen the truth in the minds of all the people. This is not done through fear of attack, but through knowledge of the most powerful way to bring about any great constructive movement for world betterment. The selfish have no access to it. In a sense, all those who are working for India's freedom or for the freedom and peace of the world are avatars. As the Western world looks at the avatars, many of the great ones have been disseminating this teaching for thousands of years. Jesus has been and is working definitely for the betterment of the world. The reason many people in the Western world do not recognize the work of avatars is that they can conceive of them only as working on the surface and saying and doing spectacular, miraculous things in public. They do not know that the true miracles are always worked in the silence first. Regarding the arbitration as an instrument for world peace, The movement was started in the Punjab of India. It is a powerful instrument of world peace, and it has completely outlawed. Hold on, send this to her. Uh, the Masters of the Far East. What I read at the end answers why we don't openly use our abilities yet. It has completely outlawed aggression. India never did use an aggressive attitude, never did encourage open warfare in that territory at all. The Punjab was the greatest back influence back of this whole movement. It has been maintained throughout India for about 3,000 years. Non aggression and arbitration have been proved practical. W. J. Bryan, consciously or unconsciously actuated by the silent influence, succeeded in getting peace treaties with all but four nations. So far, no national character has since dared to take up his work. It will be taken up again someday in the future with the forming of a board of men unknown to the outer world that will have complete authority from the peace societies and group workings unselfishly for world peace. And with that, I am told to end it. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, not end it here. Two more things. If all the financial world were to get behind this movement for unity, it would be the greatest influence for peace. There could then be no finances for war. It could be possible to finance war, and hence it could be impossible to finance war, and hence there could be no war. If the cooperative system should be adopted universally, there could be no booms and no more depressions. It would also be of great influence in the abolition of war. As a matter of fact, cooperation is coming into existence. The people who do not cooperate and align themselves with the new order will be outlawed completely. Following this spreading tendency to outlaw war, people will have their eyes open to the causes of war, in which are in the sole promotion of group or national advantages. The practice of non-cooperation will also be outlawed, and as a contributing cause of war, as a contributing cause of war. This brings the whole thing right down to the individual, and each one must outlaw his own selfishness and self seeking at the expense of others. He, as an individual, will find that the best way to promote his own interest is to promote the common interest, and the only way to preserve his own good is to preserve the good of the whole. This silent tendency is now being awakened on a broad scale, but each individual must find its beginning in himself, and one who will earnestly search his soul will find the embryo of this movement increasing in his own nature every day. Spreading from individual to individual, it will grow into a mighty world movement and will be the ultimate motive in all human activities, just as the individual who does not obey this eternal trend of his inner nature is destroyed. So will such groups and institutions, religious organizations, races, and nations be disintegrated, leaving the world for those who love the law of God and live that law in relationship to every other man and nation. So I'm told to end it at that. I do hope you enjoyed both what I read in the beginning and what I read in the end. I am being very guided to read this every time I come on live. Now, there are actually, I believe, about 5 or 6 books in the series. This is volume 4. And I feel like the Great White Brotherhood has, like, it's kind of funny because, I had all 3, right? And I gave those 3 after I took those, and I've incorporated those into my life to my friend who, was told to give those to. And it was so interesting because a few days out, about like a few months after, I was like, it's not been long. I want to say August is when I found this. I think this year, and someone just sort of just left it there, right, as a donation, right? And it's so interesting because I could not for the life of me find numbers 4 through 5. It's like they disappeared. I don't remember what happened to them, but I truly believe the Great White Brotherhood is watching me, and this is like their sign. Okay, you're ready for volume number 4. So I think it's very beautiful and interesting and loving and just amazing. So I'm going to read the comments and see what feedback we are getting from the collective. It says, "Thank you so much. That was beautiful." Are you talking about the ritual, or are you talking about the readings, the teachings? I am going to be now moving the computer and moving this candle back to where it was originally. I am now sitting down here and this. Voila. All of it. Oh, so were you present during the whole thing? I'm so glad. I only kind of, I'm a little worried though that they will try to say that I'm copywriting, and I'll probably have to fight that, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure if the Great White Brotherhood deems it, it will not be a problem. I truly feel like it was weird because I feel like the Great White Brotherhood wanted me to read and start reading this. I just could feel it on my heart. So maybe there's a reason why I'm doing this. I don't know the big picture, but I believe that the universe and all that is good. I think this is their way of using me, the universe using me to bring awareness and enlightenment. And so let me quickly grab this one candle. I think this, okay, so I don't know if I told you guys yet, but I am making steps to move to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Partly the reason why I'm moving is because so I can be closer to some of my people who we're all studying under this. I think it's a title, but we call them Geisha, and I think that's a title. And I'm moving closer to be closer to Geisha, so I can attend more of his classes. And I also want to attend an art school, and I heard that they do a lot. They have some disability kind of sponsor stuff, so I'm going to do that. And there is I'm actually going to see really quickly how far Chestnut Meadows is from the the art school. And I'm going to see, because there's this one store that my friends recommend, and my friend is very sensitive to chemicals, radiation. So if they recommend a food store, I know it's 100% good, 100%, right? But not only that, I feel really drawn to be there. I think it'll also be good for my metaphysical store. I really, 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 really do. Because of the simple fact that, oh, that's interesting. It's there's some pink stuff on the back here. And I see there's wax. So, and I know for a fact it did not have any wax. Oh, that's beautiful. So there's a message here for sure, like the spirit. But so my point is that I did a road opening spell. I'm putting the intentions out there, and this candle originally was a rose and dragon's blood candle. There was still a little bit of wax left, and I added some brown wax. But I just love how the wax. I made sure to mix it thoroughly, but when it started to harden, look at how it's like the oils, it's like red, reddish pink, and brown. And I think for me, this actual wax I was trying to turn it purple. No joke. And it actually turned brown. And I know for a fact I put red and blue colorant. I swear to God, my candles, they have a mind of their own. And oh, that is so beautiful. I didn't know this existed. If Lady Rosemary, please let me know where I can buy a Hecate rosary. And hello, Lady Rosemary. But I think it's kind of cool because when I did this ritual, it's been 3 days. Actually, that's the interesting thing. I just now realized it has been 3 days this candle was burning. And the flame was big and really fat, and it was going really energetic. And I had this box. I was told to get a shoe box or a box and to put my a shoe to represent, putting my foot in. And I did put this piece of paper that says Chestnut Meadows with the address and the apartment unit, right? And I also put this, which shows the entire apartment complex. And it says a little map. And I put that on a plate like this. And I put this candle on top for 3 days. It's been 3 days. It went out close to 7 or 8-ish. And it just went out on its own. But look at this. I put coffee grounds in it to really ground and accelerate my intention for this candle. And I find it interesting because if you look closely on the side here, it's this pinkish purple. And it looks like there is someone sitting there, and it kind of looks like they're just, I don't know, it's like a sitting there, and then there's something else here in the corner. In the corner, I can't really tell what it is. But what kind of vibes do you guys? No way, that looks like a door. That looks like a door. When I'm looking at it through the camera lens, it looks like a door. That's straight up. That's so beautiful. It looks like a door. I swear. I think it's a door. That's beautiful. So the door has been opened. Oh my god. And that's the wax. That's actually the wick. That's the wick. I will have to melt this again and then reuse the candle again for one more time. Um, but I think it's beautiful that that happened. And then I feel like, and I had this on Hestia's altar. Um, it was partially on Hecate's altar, but it was mostly on Hestia's altar space. And I think it's very beautiful. You do? Where? Like where? I do believe Hecate worked with this energy, and I do believe. Look at that oil. Oil's coming out. Yeah, it's just super beautiful, and it smells really great too. But I think it's beautiful, and I mean, says yes, it was. Yes, I was. Hey there. That sounds really nice. Smiley face. I have a Hecate rosary, Etsy, and said, yes, it does look like a door, smiley face, and I see Hecate in the candle. Oh, so I wanted your thoughts. Do you think it went well? I mean, it went out on its own, which usually when a candle goes out on its own, yeah, it felt like someone was sitting. Um, it felt like someone was sitting. Um, in front of like the thing. But does that mean that like the door's open and we're just kind of waiting for things to fall into place? Yeah, I mean it's interesting because like the thing was that it it blew itself out on today is the third day, which is really prominent because three is all about journeys and stuff too. And Hecate is all about that three, the three faces that made a mother crone. And I do feel like Hecate and Hestia were working together. That thing, I swear to God, it was like, doo, 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 like, and it was nice. That, like, really large and really thick. And so, definitely a lot of energy. And I'm super excited. Now, I want to show you guys this. So, originally, I was just going to do a pentacle of King Solomon, right? Now look at this thing. This thing is like turning into something of its own accord. I got hickory nuts for strength, galangal and mistletoe in intervals. Mistletoe to ward off evil and promote love, and Galangal for the small victories, to strengthen victory. And um, we have nettle, which is good for breaking hexes and curses. Um, we have mugwort, which is good for cleansing and divination. I wrote these words earlier. Light Guide and Lion's Gate. Oh, so beautiful. And then I, with this blue, I actually mixed sulfur with the paint. And I did like blue. I feel like it's turning into like an evil eye of sorts. And it's interesting because they're 8. And I feel like because I'm studying the Buddhists, I'm going to see if they're like anything like 8 stones or anything that symbolizes the 8 paths in Buddha. And maybe that will, like, it's interesting. Lapis lazuli is actually a stone that wards off evil. And it makes a lot of sense because in past lives, I this is based off my past lives. I combined lapis lazuli and tanzanite, or whatever it's called, blue tanzanite. And sometimes, if we did not have blue tanzanite, we used sodalite. But the tanzanite is connected to the angel Seraphael, which is also a stone of purification. Okay, and is also connected deeply to Metatron, Archangel Metatron, and the angel Seraphael, the angel of purification and cleansing. And so, like, we use those to make, and we actually smelted them and made evil eyes. Like, we actually, smelted them and put layer upon layer. It was very beautiful. I'm actually going to make those again, all 3 stones, melt them together, and make them again. And give them out to people because this is based off of past life where I created them. People came all over the world to my coven and me as coven leader in that past life, and they worked, so I'm going to do them again. Okay, so what did you guys like feel from the, like, when I, like, did you get any visions? I'm curious. And anything interesting, like anything at all? But I just think it's beautiful, cute. And then I have to spray Mod Podge over this when I'm done. Oh, and I did do salt and pepper. I did put salt and pepper on. I did purple, but first I did purple to kind of do a base coat, and then I felt Hecate vibes, instantly. And I did salt, and then I did a layer of mugwort, and then I think I used this one was orange. The nettle has green and paint underneath, and I used for the black pepper, it was yellow, because you can kind of see the yellow, and the galangal, and the mistletoe, and then the blue, and then I have to add red. I need something red. That's when I wrote the words and the word trine. Oh, okay, so you're saying you wrote those during the energy working that I did. Yeah, Um, I heard that I do remember that, but I remember hearing about that in a past life, so maybe like that was your coven, because I heard that a coven was betrayed, but we were in like America or some what would be later known as America or something like that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that my coven mourned the loss of that coven because me and the coven leader of that coven, yeah, you're right, it was the 1200s, yes, because they we were close friends, so the fact that I heard that she and like it was awful. And we lit candles and we guided their souls, and I'm very glad that you were able to reincarnate into what is now Lady Rosemary.
God, you probably ended up pulling something out. You should probably go get checked out. That's not good because I had that problem when I had a.
Okay. Well, I think for now I'm going to head off live, and I'm going to wish you guys a good night, sleep. Feel free to rewatch the video. I sure am. And it was very powerful. I kind of just went with what felt right, and I hope you guys enjoyed the energy working today. I definitely want your feedback. If you felt like I could have done something better, that'd be great. Point out anything that you feel that. But mwah, kisses, hugs, and love to all of you beautiful, amazing souls. With much love and gratitude to all of you beautiful souls, magical blessings, and bye for now. On a side note, before I go, Lady Rosemary, I am working on that. I'm trying to get my property set up because I do want a coven like that. But not just disability people. It's not just going to be specified for disabled people, but I am working on building a coven. So if you are interested in the future when the time's right, I will reach out to you. But anyway, magical blessings and bye for now. Know that you are powerful shamans, warriors, healers. You're all of that in a bag of chips. Kisses, hugs, and love to all of you beautiful souls.